black mentor coming, Omo. Now Coco Boy, now still Clash of the Supporters, now still Team Obi. Team Obi is leading so well now. Star Wars, Team Tinubu. Wait till now they do. Make una wake up now. Matter don't reach ground though.
We are coming.
Make una so for this Star Wars. Anthony Mace. Happy holidays, Anthony. Happy holidays. Anthony Mace too now, Obi supporter. And then the third person, Bruma is here. The third person is Official Abubakar.
Hey, Bruma.
Good evening.
Bruma, let me first thank you for being my customer.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Daddy Freeze.
They always try.
I always try. Always try.
Official Abubakar Shuaibu Meta. Shuaibu Meta. Guys, they send me requests. It helps. It's not coming. Official. Okay, I typed officials. Always send me requests. It helps because some of your handles can be long.
How are you doing, Bruma?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Question. We start now. Thank you all so much.
Hi, Alaji. How are you doing?
Hey, madam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, how are you now?
I'm fine, Alaji.
Yeah. Daddy,
how are you? Good?
It's been a while.
Yes, so Alaji, well done.
Nice to meet. Nice seeing you again.
Good to have you guys back here. Earlier on, I was addressing and stressing the issue between Black Mentor don't show now. Star Wars go bono go. Black Mentor don't get down. They don't do 4,000 down. So today go hot. Even me, they sweet me for body. What did I want to say? We all saw what transpired between Reno Omokri, who is an avid supporter of Team Atiku, which I have nothing against. Some of my very good friends are Atiku supporters. Black Mentor, for instance, is my guy. Mo Musti and I have known each other for like 15 years. He's also Team Atiku. I also have a lot of good friends in Team Tinubu, a lot of my childhood friends also. And of course, my heart will always be with Team Obi, even though I can't join any particular group. However, I want us, before we start the debate, what can we do to prevent the breeding or brooding of violence through threats? I cite the example of the audio between Reno and Rufai Oseni. I must be honest, I do support the way Reno insults Peter Obi. Or should I, maybe not insult, let me not use the word insult, his choice of words when addressing Peter Obi. Peter Obi is even good when it comes to Reno. Now, Tinubu, they suffer for a hand. So the Reno go Caterham house, go scatter the place, waiting, that is still okay. You understand? Is a protest is allowed. You understand? But you see, when it now turns to insults, it turns to threats. I have a problem. So I just want a quick 10 seconds. What do you guys think? Do you see what Rufai did as a threat? If you see it as a threat, what can we do to avert such and make sure our polity is not heated up? I see it, in my humble opinion, as a threat. The word deadly or dirty has no business in the context of whatever the debate was. And I watched the debate. Reno, as far as I'm concerned, regarding that particular debate, Reno won. I don't know if you followed that debate. It was about Tinubu going to a certain school, and Reno went all the way to that school in Chicago to see if Tinubu went there. And Reno came out and said, well, Tinubu actually went there. So I watched the side of Rufai Oseni, and to be very honest, I wasn't impressed with the way Rufai handled it. I may be wrong. I can choose to like Mama Tuzi's golden hair and say, wow, this hair is cute. And Brume might look at it and say, it's not cute.
Yeah.
Our opinion. You understand?
Yes.
So we're entitled to our opinions. However, when it now degenerates into, if I wanted to be deadly or dirty, I didn't hear well. The people that typed it out, they typed it as deadly. I heard dirty. Both deadly and dirty in the context of a debate. How do you get dirty in a debate? Are you going to come and show us his nudes? You understand? As far as I'm concerned, what Rufai did, in my humble opinion, was a threat. But I want you guys to talk to it in the spirit of the debate. We're also going to talk about recent happenings. Aisha Buhari and the kid, and also what happened between Reno and Catanam House. So prepare yourselves and your thoughts as the debate progresses. We're going to touch on all those angles. But first of all, who starts first? What's the order we're starting today?
I think Tinubu picked the topic.
Sorry.
So why don't we
Before
start?
going to the topic, I just wanted us to drop our
okay.
on
Opinion on what you just said.
Yes, in the same progression,
in the same order.
The same order.
Okay. So Brume goes first, I believe, then Alaji, then I go last.
If it is a threat, what can we do to avert such and make sure the elections are wholesome and devoid of agitation?
Okay. Before I address Rufai's comments, right, I just want to mention one thing. The build up to the campaigns, right, and the current build up to the elections have been very emotional for many Nigerians. And it's very simple to see, right? Like every day on WhatsApp groups, on Instagram, all over, we see stories of woe, suffering, insecurity, armed robbery. Like people are really angry, right? And we, especially us here abroad, right, will be speaking insensitively if we try to judge them for the way they choose to express their anger. So we can only watch and hope that people are able to control their emotions a bit more and think a bit more objectively. However, in the case of Rufai and Reno, they are both Reno was in the government before. Rufai is a journalist, right? And at least when I was growing up, I looked up to journalists, right? They were examples of, people who spoke good English, people who behaved properly, and basically what was happening around to us, right? So we looked up to them, and I think the younger generation looks up to journalists as well. So I watched the debate between Reno and Rufai, right? Rufai's point was that the dates on the document didn't match the dates Reno went to school, which for me is a no, because I can go to my transcript now and get a copy next year to be dated today, right? It doesn't mean the document is invalid, right? So,
sorry, hold on 1 second. Mama's Tuzi, Alaji, mute your mics. Your mics
okay.
are interference. I've muted my own already. Alaji, mute your mic. I'm muting my own too.
So I thought the basis of Rufai's argument was very shaky, right? For me, it didn't hold. And I felt, Reno went there, he took pictures there. There's no reason why he go all the way there and not get what he went there for, right? I don't support Rufai's words. Honestly speaking, I think they were spoken out of anger. I think it was too emotional about the subject. And, in terms of what we can do to prevent stuff like that, right? I think we should take a look at the people who are contesting for the election, right? Because all these fights and arguments are on behalf of them, right? We saw Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Rabiu Kwankwaso sit together and debate without even throwing jabs at each other, right? We see them meet at airports, at lounges, and we see them hugging and exchanging, pleasantries, right? We saw Peter Obi, for example, Charles Soludo recently, right? So these people fight and cause us to fight ourselves. We don't see them actually fighting in real life. They are very cordial, right? So for me, on my own part, I think I'm less emotional about the coming elections. But I was in my secondary school WhatsApp group. I used to attack everybody, Atiku or Tinubu supporter. But I realized, hey, after the election next year, right, we're going to be back to whatever is going to be happening, right? Peter might win, Atiku might win, Tinubu might win. If the election is free and fair, we cannot say who will win today, right? So we are still Nigerians. We need to remain friends after the election. We need to debate issues. We need to talk about what our candidates are going to do. We need to ask questions, and we need to try to remove the emotions. Because the emotions there, we're going to keep fighting. At the end of the elections, these guys are going to go back to being friends. They might even be in the same political party in the next election, but our friendships are going to be damaged permanently. So I want to urge everybody, right? Support whatever candidate you support. It's your choice. Stick to your choice and be happy with it. And promote your candidate, right? Allow other people who have made other choices to exist in peace with their choices, right? If they have made bad choices, they will see if their candidate wins. For me, I supported Buhari in 2018 ardently, right? And I think it was a mistake. And I'm today, right? If I be supporting somebody who will win, I will see that it's a mistake. At the expense of Nigeria, though, but you see your mistake and realize, right? But when you are talking to other people who support other candidates, try to be civil. That's one thing I've taken away from the past few months, right? At the level of Reno and Rufai, I expect a clarification to come out soon. Right? He's kept quiet for too long and has allowed a lot of speculations, right? And I think that's a dangerous situation. So he has to come out and clarify exactly what he meant, because for me, I do not think that threats are necessary. I don't think they are welcome. And I don't think they should come from somebody in Rufai's position. I noticed that even Reno doesn't threaten people. Right? The only person I see who threatens publicly is the real FFK's tweets. That personally, I think some of his tweets as hate speech, as violent speech. I don't think there should be any violence in public discussions regarding the candidates who are contesting for the current election, right? So please, everyone, especially those of you in the comment section, the people you are fighting are not your enemy, right? We are all suffering the same thing. If you want to buy a plane ticket today, you won't get it cheaper. If you want to change your naira today, you won't get it cheaper. You can even see that now your withdrawal limit has been reduced. So we are not enemies, right? We are fighting a common. So let us not fight. Let us be civil. Let's support our candidates. Let us explain to each other why we think our candidates are better without abusing ourselves. Because at the end of the day, if all of us are caught at a police checkpoint, we will not ask you who you are supporting. We will treat you exactly. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. I give that 100%. Yes, support, be passionate, throw jabs, whatever. Avoid violence. Who else wants to go real quick so we can start the debate? Brume, your mic was very bad. You might want to log out and I'll bring you back in again while the others are speaking. So Alaji goes next, right? All right, Alaji. Brume, go out, check your mic. I'll bring you back in and raise your mic up a bit so you can hear yourself. We couldn't hear you, but I was watching your lips, so I made out everything you said clearly, but it was a struggle. So Alaji, over to you.
All right, thank you, Daddy Freeze. Brume, that was a nice conversation you brought up, and of course, would support you 100% on what you said in regarding the polity. It's actually heated, and this is caused by some of these events that has happened between Reno and Rufai. You know, I really didn't support that. I think we need to be professional in whatever it is that we do. We need to be mature. We need to know the consequences of what we say. Anything we say or do have consequences, and most especially if you're a public figure and you have a platform that goes out to a lot of Nigerians. And at the moment, the polity is quite heated. Elections are around the corner. Nigerians are passionate about who they support, and yes, sometimes some supporters go overboard in, being too hard and being insultive. There's no need for that. I believe we're all Nigerians and we want to see a better Nigeria and we want to see a better country. And fighting ourselves, insulting ourselves doesn't solve the problem. What we need to do or know is, look, how do we solve this problem maturely? We have candidates that are vying for the office, right? Every Nigerian has the right to come out to say, I want to vie for a position. Every Nigerian also has the right to say, this is who I'm supporting for whatever reason. But do it in a way that you don't hurt anyone, right? Regarding the debate between Reno and Rufai, I think for Rufai, it's only professional and reasonable for him to come out and clarify, because he has already heated the polity. People are not clear with what he meant, even though, based on the words he used, we can decide to say, okay, this is what we understood from what he said. So some people have seen it as a threat. Some people are saying it's not. Now it's all how you conceive it or how you relate to what he said. But the polity has already been heated. So I think it's only mature and professional enough if he comes out and clarify. And I think that solves all the problem. Reno, the insults, I don't believe in insults, honestly, in politics. It doesn't make sense. That's my own opinion personally. Right? And I believe that is the way to go. When you see these politicians among themselves, you don't see them ignoring each other or insulting anyone. They joke, they laugh, right? Some of them or most of them have been in the same political party one way or the other in the past. What do you say to that? So why are we killing ourselves? Why are we insulting ourselves? At the end of the day, yes, we support our candidates. They don't even probably know you and I or anybody that is what we are doing. They don't. That's the truth of the matter. And come this, by next in a couple of months, the election is done. And any of these contestants can win. Right? But whoever wins, what is it that we all want? Nothing else but a better Nigeria for all of us. That is the goal. Right? So we all have our reasons for supporting who we support and why. But I believe it can be done in a mature way. You can represent your principle. It's for your own belief. If let's assume the candidate you're supporting wins, you'll be so shocked. You'll be so shocked that you could fail. Then what?
Dr. Ines Nigeria, I'm going to pin this comment. I want you to read this. Comments like these are not tolerated on this debate. Obi for life, Obi or nothing, Obi or buy them all. This is not tolerated. This is not, and I'm sure Team Obi does not support this kind of comment. So I'm going to have...
We don't support it.
Now.
We don't.
So if there's anybody that we buy, now him and him papa go buy. Where is he again? Don't run. That's my problem with all these kind of clowns. Then go talk nonsense. I did look for the guy in. So you better come and apologize. If I see your comment, I don't see him. So that's it. So he can't ever watch my live again. He has been removed. So all right, quickly, so Mama Tuzi can have her say.
Yeah. So you can see that it feels exactly these are the things that we are talking about. There is no need being violent. There's no need saying terrible words or threatening people. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
What we are all doing is we are hoping and praying for a better Nigeria.
Absolutely.
What we should do in a peaceful way, because we need that peace. Just like look at these African countries: Rwanda, Angola, Sierra Leone, Liberia. They've still not recovered. And these are smaller countries compared to Nigeria. You can imagine if this happens, it's a disaster. That's the last thing we would want to see. So please, let's keep it peaceful. Let's respect one another, and let's pray for the best for Nigeria. And we hope Nigeria will be in a better place. Thank you.
Absolutely. God bless. Mama Tuzi, over to you.
Thank you, Dad Freeze. I know we've talked about this before. On your platform, you actually want everybody to be civil. We can debate viciously, but no one has the right to threaten anybody physically or with any physical harm, whether to them, their person, or their family. You know, it's quite unfortunate that people in position of authority, because the media is the fourth estate, and you would expect them to act more professionally and to be the ones to keep everybody in line and not overheat the polity. Unfortunately, the case is not like that in Nigeria. I've actually considered Arise News, especially Rufai, as one of just like the Fox News that we have here in the United States. You don't see any credible people going to Fox News because their integrity, their credibility is in the trash. It's the truth. Rufai as actually, I'm not trying to, but I'm talking as a person, not for Tinubu, but for me as an individual. Is there's nothing professional about him. And that shows from that audio. Now, we talk about what he meant. Rufai can control what he says. What he doesn't have power to control is how people interpret what he says. Someone sent an email to myself and to some of my colleagues at work one time and said, pulling on this thing is an attempt to take credit for what you didn't deposit. My interpretation is you are saying my intent is to steal a 10-cent scrub. And believe me, that moment, my instinct was to send the most unprofessional email ever. But of course, I had people like, don't do that, you know, and everything was taken care of. The person apologized. That wasn't their intent. But like I said, you can say things. That might not be your intent, but you can't tell us how to interpret it. Otherwise, what do you mean by I will take you out? Taking something out is erasing, removing it. So in the context of what you're saying, you are technically threatening this person that I'm going to remove you. Remove from what? So it is his own, it falls on him to come back and come out and say, hey, this is not what, I know that this is being misinterpreted, but that wasn't my intent. And I apologize for the choice of word that, you know, we can all apologize. We are all humans at the end of the day, and we are working on our communication skills. Nobody is perfect. We are every day working on our communication skills. I know me. I know I'm working on being more self-aware. So when I'm saying things, because, you know, in the heat of things, because we get passionate and everything, you say things sometimes you don't even mean it. So I appreciate it when, you know, if I have people around me just say, you know, you said this, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't what I meant. This is what I meant. And I get to say that. So all I can say is we are all grown-ups. At least there's nobody in Nigeria that below the age of that is of voting age that shouldn't know their right from their wrong. You know when you're doing something that is bad. And even on this platform, we can do our own little part and try to be civil. There's no need to be threatening anybody or be a chauvinist, because besides myself, even Priya and I are actually the two women that I see that come under the Freezes platform for this debate. And people have actually said a lot of condescending, misogynistic statements to us. As a matter of fact, the last week I was saying, Daddy Freeze, please block this person. I've had to block many of them. So just because we come here, we give our time because we are passionate about our country. We love Nigeria. I don't think when I left Nigeria in 2002, I ever thought I would never go back to Nigeria. That wasn't me. I didn't leave Nigeria because I was suffering. I left Nigeria because I was seeking for knowledge. And I am still seeking for knowledge to take back, to impact on my society. That is my gain. That is my motive. That is my goal. And that is why I'm passionate doing this. Because I want Nigeria that I can come back to. And I will be happy to bring my kids to, even though I bring them, but to live there. So please, let's be civil. And if we have anybody, if you notice anybody doing something, please speak up. If you don't speak up, you are an accomplice. If you see somebody say something and you just laugh, or you laugh, or you thumbs up, you like it, you know, you are part of the problem. It's as simple as that. So I hope Reno and Rufai, I hope they settle it. I hope his organization calls him and actually try to get clarification from him, because it doesn't look good, not on just Rufai, but even his organization that he works for. Thank you, Daddy Freeze. Let's start this.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that much. I just removed Henry, some guy called Henry. He said,
oh, yeah.
Nothing. We are not stupid. Henry, and anybody else who's here, we are not stupid. What everybody is saying is Rufai might have had a benign statement. It might have meant nothing. Without explanation, like they rightfully said, interpretation of that statement can be anywhere from totally exterminate to some very nasty consequences, which I believe both Arise and Rufai owe the public. And like I've said, I can choose what I watch and what I will not from now on until I get clearance or a clear picture from that station. I will not personally take them seriously. Personally, my choice. And I don't believe that I'm being stupid here, because we are all, if they don't owe us as much as we are sorry, it's not what we thought to. That's it. Now, someone said Rufai is the best journalist. Now, watch out. I'm going to be removing a lot of people. I want to prune down the people in this comment section to remove the toxicity. It's like if you know how to do fufu, when you first mix the cassava, you will put a big stone on top of it so that the toxins will ease out. I'm putting a stone on the cassava today. I will delete, block anybody that is toxic in their comments. I want to have a healthy house where people can debate, jab, do everything they like, but within the confines of decency. Okay, guys, big shout out to Team Peter Obi on Star Wars. Team Peter Obi were leading until the Tormentor showed up. Big shout out to Joseph Nantoma, the Black Tormentor, aka the Black Mentor. He put an end to the Peter Obi reign. Peter Obi was leading with 4,200 stars, but the Black Mentor came through and did 10,000 stars. Team Tinubu, we've not seen your hand yet. Over to Star Wars. Team Obi, don't let them ride this one out. You can do it. It is so easy. Just go to Facebook. Go to my page, Daddy Freeze, the verified one. It's so easy. If this is Facebook, see, go to your Facebook, top right-hand corner, DADDYFREEZE. This would show up, the one with the verified tick. Scroll down, you will see today's video. It's live. You can see it live. There's a timer running. If I click on it, so right under there, you will see how to buy stars. When you buy stars, make sure you indicate what team you are supporting so that your stars can be counted towards your team. Star Wars is on. Team Obi, don't wait for the last minute. Fire back. The tormentor might be sleeping. We might be lucky. We might be able to get this thing through. And Team Tinubu, also go to Facebook, Daddy Freeze, and buy your stars. We're starting right now. We're sticking to time, a 5-minute time limit for everyone, starting with Brume, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I'm
correct.
timing. The topic is agriculture. Let's do this.
All right. Good evening, Nigerians from all over the world, wherever you're listening, or good afternoon, or morning. I'm not sure what time it is where you are. The topic is agriculture, like Daddy Freeze rightly said. I'm going to highlight a few problems facing that sector in Nigeria. And please note, I'm not going to call anybody's names, but the two ruling parties, that's the PDP and the APC, are highly complicit in all the problems I'm going to mention right now, right? So in Nigeria, agric is divided into 4 sectors. You have livestock, you have forestry, you have crop production, and you have fishing, right? Now, crop production accounts for 88% of the total agricultural output in Nigeria, right? You have livestock, fishing, and forestry at 8%, 3%, and 1% respectively. So there's a lot of room for development in those other 3 sectors, right? Now, agriculture is the largest sector in Nigeria, right? You might not realize this, but it accounts for 24% of the country's GDP. Now, if you don't know what GDP is the sum of the total financial or market value of finished products in a country in a particular time. So let's say for 2023, the GDP will be the total sum of all finished products and services for 2022, okay? Now, agriculture accounts for 24%, and it's been so for the past 7 years. Now, it's also the largest employer of labor in Nigeria, right? It actually accounts for 36% of the country's labor. So it's very, very important to take note of all of these numbers, right? Because they'll come into play later on, right? Now, a group of Covenant University students carried out a study in 2019. Okay, they used some economic method. I don't want to go into technical details, right? But they studied the relationship between agricultural exports and economic development, right? And the summary of that study was, if we increase agricultural exports by 1%, we're going to grow Nigerian economy by 25%. The significance of this is that we've depended on oil for so long. I will talk about diversification, right? Agriculture is a sector that we can grow 1% to grow the economy by 5%. Okay. Now, there are many problems facing agriculture. Economically, right, we have a trade deficit of over 600 billion. It's been so since 2019. So buying and selling, to remove the amount of money that we used to buy, so that we sell from what we buy, we still have over 600 billion deficit. So we are trying to catch up, right? Now, the share of agricultural exports in Nigeria, going by 2019 numbers, is 2% compared to oil that's almost 80%, right? So these numbers are very abysmal, and it shows that agriculture is one sector that the next government needs to focus on. Now, a few problems facing agriculture in Nigeria: one, lack of resources, right? No good seeds, irrigation, lack of machinery, right? This contributes to low output today. Violent conflict. We have in the north lack of water, drought, there's desertification. These factors have pushed these nomadic herdsmen from the north down to the south. They're very important, factors in agriculture, right? Because they grow the livestock. But because they've moved down south, they've had clashes with crop farmers, right? And this has caused, farmers to leave the farm. We have an outdated system of agriculture, right? So everyone is complaining that my audio isn't clear.
Continue. Hear you.
You can hear me?
Your face closer to the mic, yes.
Okay, maybe their network is bad, right? So we have outdated systems of agriculture, no mechanized farming in Nigeria. People still farm with cutlasses and stuff, right? Now we have an absence of a very important part of the value chain, right? We focus on food production, but we don't focus on manufacturing and processing, right? The absence of these makes a lot of waste happen from when farmers, harvest their crops to when it gets to the tables of consumers, right? There's so many problems facing agriculture in Nigeria, right? But One major one is the lack of access to finance, right? Now, farmers are not seen as a bankable, they are not seen as being bankable, right? So it's hard for them to access credit facilities for them to grow, the small and medium scale processing and manufacturing plants that they need, to increase food production, right? Now, how do we solve all these problems? The government of Mr. Peter Obi has said a few things and proposed a few solutions, right? One of which primary is to focus on security, right? Now, security has pushed a lot of farmers out of the farms back home for fear of being attacked. Number one. Number two, the herdsmen, have eaten crops that farmers have suffered to plant. Peter Obi has said that he will provide an immediate solution to the problems of security, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. That's one. Number two, he has said that for the 2023 farming season, he will make sure that all farmers return to the farms. Okay? So, like I said, security first, and all farmers return to the farms. Now, the third thing he has said he will do is to focus on the transportation network. One of the issues facing farmers is the lack of a good transport network to transport their finished products from the farms to the markets, to the plants where they're going to be processed, right? So he's going to focus on the transportation network, right? Okay, I can see some derogatory comments in the chats, right? He has said he will remove restrictions on investments by foreign investors, right? He has also said that he will make use of the capacity of the River Niger and Benue by providing dams that will help to give water for irrigation projects, right? Because right now, only 1% of farmland is irrigated. Farmers depend solely on rainfall, which is very, very, very unproductive in 2022, right? Now, many other things he has said that he will do to grow agriculture, right? But the focus of his government is to take Nigerians out of a consumption-based society to a production-based society. And how is he going to do this? Like I said, fiscal policies to make sure that farmers have access to money, not just to plant, right, but also to build manufacturing and processing plants so that people can process finished products. That is one. The second thing he said he will do is to make us a net exporter of finished products. So we're going to focus on feeding Nigerians first, because right now we import 50% of the food that we eat. He's going to remove that 50% of imports, which results in that $600 billion deficit, and make sure we can feed ourselves, after which we become a net exporter, which will provide foreign exchange for Nigerians, right? We can see today now that we have a very bad exchange rate because of our total dependence on oil, right? Okay. One last point, please, right?
You use 7 minutes.
You've done 7 minutes. Time
okay.
up.
Okay.
I gave you extra because of your audio. I'm not giving anybody else extra. You are difficult to express yourself with the audio.
Okay.
Please,
but can you guys hear me? Because everybody's complaining in the comments that they can't hear me.
I have to strain to hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to strain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. Who goes next? Alaji.
Alaji.
5 minutes. So.
All right.
Now.
All right. Thank you, Daddy Freeze. Good evening, Nigerians. Brome, madam. Nice to have you here. So agriculture, a very important and broad subject that needs to be discussed and which has a very huge impact on Nigeria and our economy at large. First things first, to address let's talk present day Nigeria, to address agriculture, I think the first thing that needs to be done is to address security. Because once security is not addressed, it's going to be difficult to achieve the growth in the agricultural sector and then also attaining food security. So it's quite important that security is addressed so that people can go back to farms, people can invest in that sector, and then we can reap the benefit of it. And agriculture has a very huge, large value chain. Brume, you mentioned 4 sectors earlier on. You mentioned livestock, fishery, and forestry. You forgot crop production, which is actually vast and one of the biggest value chain within that sector. And it's quite important. One of the major issues we have in Nigeria right now is that most of agriculture produce is at the subsistence level, right? Not a huge commercial not a huge commercial aspect. And that is what we need. You know, we just have bucket of farmers all across the country, you know, farming in small quantities and so on and so on. And that is not enough. We have the land, we have the opportunity, but we need to be in the 21st century when it comes to agriculture. Just like Boomer said, I agree with him, is that most especially up north here are reliable on rainfall, rainy season. And rainy season is how many months? 5 months total, you know? What can you get out of that as much as possible? So irrigation is quite key. So building of more dams, irrigation canals are quite important in attaining that agricultural aspect. Infrastructure in terms of road and rail for moving, you know, agricultural products across the country, very important. You'll be worried to know that most especially when it comes to perishable goods, about 70% of perishable goods do not reach the final consumer because they get spoiled along the way or before they leave the farms. You know, poor infrastructure, poor road network. Before they, you know, it ends up getting spoiled, the tomatoes and things like that. So in a lot of cases, you find a lot of farmers drying their tomatoes because there's no processing. There's no processing. So the private sector really needs to get involved in agriculture. We need more processing plants. We need dams. We need private sector investments. You know, when you talk about the dams, it means that you can be able to build irrigation canals. We usually have floods due to overflowing of dams. This water can be used in a better way, because if we have the irrigation canals built attached to those dams, when during rainy season you have your dams overflowing, instead of, you know, it gets to the extent of you have the dams breaking, you know, so many communities being affected by floods and things like that, you will just open the canal and it goes through the irrigation canal to as far as you can build it, depending on where these dams are. And these things can be used for irrigation purposes, and it will be able to reduce the floods and also a lot of damages that is causing a lot of damages to the villages and causing a lot of people to leave their communities. So it's quite important that we look into these things, because it's we need to attain that food security. Apart from now being able to feed ourselves, if we're able to export, let's even talk about exporting within Africa. How much would that bring into our economy? That's quite a lot. And that is what we need to focus. Mind you, before oil, what were we doing? It was agriculture. So where did we go wrong? We just left it. We didn't invest in it. We need to invest in it. We need more people to invest in it. We need more private sector. We need mechanized farming. We need commercial farming. And that is what we need to do to improve agriculture. But like I said, first things first, whoever comes into government will have to address security. And as we go along, there are a lot of points, agriculture. Thank you, Daddy Freeze. And in the next round, I'll complete some of my points. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. You did that within 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Over to you, Mama Tuzi.
Okay, hello everybody once again. Okay, so I know you read plenty. It won't be out of the ordinary for these three candidates to have similar ideas. I guess the only thing you will have to go with is who has the track record of actually bringing these ideas into fruition. So let's talk agriculture. Currently, agriculture in Nigeria contributes 30% of employment in Nigeria. Besides the 24% that Brume referred to the GDP. But there are so many challenges when it comes to agriculture. It's always been like that since at least we started this Fourth Republic. President Obasanjo tried his best then to, even from 1976 to do the Operation Feed the Nation. Nothing in agriculture has really been, I don't think we've ever achieved anything significant since the time of Obasanjo till what we have under the current administration of Buhari. And if you don't believe that, the statistics is out there, it doesn't lie. So there are challenges when it comes to agriculture in Nigeria. We know of security challenges. We know there is climate change. And then we know of also people in the government or even Nigerian citizens themselves that are sabotaging government effort to better the lot of our farmers. For a community that feeds the nation, they shouldn't have to live in poverty. Besides the fact that they don't have help when it comes to financing their operations, we shouldn't, under any circumstance, lowball them or take advantage of them. So when it comes to Asiwaju's plan, we recognize that only 35% of Nigeria's arable land is being used for agriculture. Currently, we are trying to expand that to 65% at least. Now, the difference is this. Brumer said the OB team would do this, they want to do this. Same thing with Alaji. And of course, that's what Asiwaju is saying too. I want to do this. But now, the difference is he's actually telling you how he's going to do it. Besides finance, besides the irrigation and the water catchment area, besides farm cooperatives, the commodity boards to ensure that they get fair pricing, and the commodity exchange board so they can trade in futures, they can hedge, they can do all of that, increase their money, that gives them opportunity to scale also. Well, to start with, security is very important. We all know the challenges we're having with security. Of course, lately, things have been better. We've had, this current administration has had challenges when it comes to getting even equipment. Some equipment that were sold to them from countries like the United States, they also had limitations of where they can use it and where they cannot use it. Unfortunately, there are laws, there are bilateral laws that Nigeria signed that might make us handicapped in certain areas. Luckily, things are improving, but we need to get our farmers back to farm safely without the risk of getting killed or getting kidnapped for ransom. Secondly, we need to also recognize when we talk about, besides terrorism, we're talking about banditry, we're talking about farmer-headed crisis. Nigeria is not the only country that borders the Sahel desert. So all the countries, the Sahel countries, of course, they are going through desertification. Their lands are being degraded. And then we have the conflict in Libya, conflict in Mali. All those things are also fueling influx of people from these areas into our country. We all know that Nigeria has porous borders. We know that. Out of over like 367 borders that we have in Nigeria, about 127 is actually manned, protected. The rest of our borders are open. So there you go. We have influx of weapons. We have people coming in and out just, the way they want it. Well, with Asiwaju's administration, that would not happen because we'll be employing technology besides ironing more hands to protect our borders, to protect us from all of that. If we can secure those areas in partnership with other neighboring countries that are part of this, of course, it will reduce, they can stay over there, they don't have to come into our home countries. The only reason they're coming is not because, the intent was not to come do us harm, the intent is for them they are running from something, which is starvation. That is what they are running from. Well, Nigeria, Cameroon, in partnership with United Nations, I don't know if you've heard of the Great Green Wall. Well, they are trying. That's planting. That's the planting that is going on in the Sahel right now. It's a very big dream for Africa, trying to bring life back there so that people can stay over there. But we'll talk more on the programs. Thank you, Daddy Freeze.
Thank you too so very much. Wonderful having you guys. Thank you for staying within the confines of your time frame. Even though you guys could have done better time-wise, at least you guys tried a little. Now, let's go to Star Wars. Lovely contributions, you guys. All of you contributed well. Let's go to Star Wars. Team Atiku Abubakar is currently leading Star Wars. Big shout out to our top star senders: Joseph Nantoma, 10,000 stars; Coco Boy Music, 3,000 stars; Anthony Mays, 500 stars; Brume, who's with us here, 500 stars; and Oluyemi Agumbiade with 200 stars. A total of 4,200 in favor of Team Obi. Not a single star has been added. Guys, what are you waiting for? I will soon close this Star Wars. 10,000, 4,200 is easy for people to catch up. And it looks like Black Mentor is no longer around. He's not here. Team Obi, Team Tinubu, I never see una hand though. Make una put hand for this matter. Make these stars go up. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Black Mentor, they here. Say, should he go to bed? He's challenging you people. Team Atiku is challenging you people. Hey, I thought that we could sneak past him, but he's right there. He said,
Daddy Free, stop shaming us. Stop shaming Team Tinubu. Don't shame us.
Oh yeah, Team, wake up. Come over. I'm putting.
Sorry, Mama Tuesday, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Very well.
We can hear you, but the problem is once you start talking, it starts going like this.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, we're about to enter the second segment. That is the what's that segment again?
Rebuttals.
The rebuttal.
The rebuttals.
Absolutely, the rebuttals. We're going to go with that now. Priye is saying Black Mentor should go to bed. Priye, Timobi stopped at 4,200. They stopped at 4,200. Even if Black Mentor goes to bed now, he will still win asleep. Eh? Oh yeah. Somebody says I'm an artist. Waiting concern you. Me too, I'm a doctor. I go come here, type say you're an artist so that we can pity you. Better go and today is agriculture. Drop the studio, carry cutlass, enter inside farm, go plant some yam, brother. That's what Nigeria is looking for now. We have too many artists and too little farmers. We get Davido, we get Wiz, we get Bonner, and we get artists for the next 10 years. We day steady. So please, Nigeria is not in a hurry. We are not looking for artists right now. Artist is not our priority. If you come here and tell me you are an artist, in fact, I will charge you Prince Akwechi for Obi. Just slam dunk 2,000 stars. Biggie. Hey, Obi done the catch Black Mentor. Obi want turn to Tormentor. Obi want collect the title of Tormentor. You know you say Tormentor na title. 2,500 stars. Hey, it's a lie. It's a lie. It is a lie. They have almost caught up. Prince Akwechi. No. Obi is leading. Black Mentor say go to sleep. You could not wake up tomorrow, they cry. Obi has done it again. No. Black Mentor don't respond though. Black Mentor don't. Hey. Well, you know what? Let's leave Star Wars. This Star Wars wants to scatter my head. I can't even keep up with the number again. Remember, to be part of Star Wars, go to Facebook and go and get your stars. How do you get your stars? Go to my page, Daddy Freeze. It has 750,000 followers. You see the blue tick, that's Daddy Freeze page. Go in there, get yourself some stars, and write the team you are supporting. Thank you so much, Prince Akwechi. Thank you so much. Alexander Wusu has dropped another 1,000 for Team Obi. Prince Akwechi has this is war. Black Mentor has woken up. He's hitting them back. Let me tell you how many. I can give you a rough idea. We have 18,500 for the Black Mentor and about 10,600 for Team Obi. And Team Obi is currently dropping like it's hot. Guys, it's happening live on Facebook. Come there now. Over to the rebuttals. I'm sure by the time we come back, something exciting would have happened. So, starting with you, Brume. Rebuttals, over to you.
Yeah, before I talk too much, I want to confirm that people can hear properly because
We could hear you
I
all.
can hear you.
You are breaking from time to time, but just go on.
Okay. So, I want to respond first to something Mama Tuzi said, right? And it's something that the other teams, especially Team Tinubu, keeps repeating, right? That we keep talking about how Peter Obi will do this and Peter Obi will do that, and you somehow make reference to the fact that you don't think that you can, right? There's a difference between Peter Obi's supporters and people who read the propaganda on the internet, right? The difference is this: we know Peter Obi's results. That's why we support him. I live abroad, right? I'm looking at Nigeria from far, right? An unbiased view. I assess all the candidates, right? I look at all their history. From when Peter Obi blew, I would say he blew in 2016 on the platform, right? Till when he was Atiku's vice, right? Till when he became the presidential candidate, right? I have followed Peter Obi, right? I'm a Nigerian who had the privilege of traveling around Nigeria a lot. I'm somebody who has driven from Lagos to Abuja by road, through Onitsha. Like, I drove a lot through Nigeria. I saw changes, physical changes, especially in Anambra State. My brother went to university in Okija. I've slept in Ihiala, Onitsha, Alo, London, villages in Anambra State, villages in Imo State. I have traveled Nigeria, right? So when people say he did this, right, I can remember, right? When I used to go to school, I passed through Upper Iweka a lot. I can tell you there was a big difference between Upper Iweka of when I was a student and when I was a graduate, driving through there from Port Harcourt back home to Benin. I can tell you that for sure. So I saw these things, right? People don't believe that one person can tackle several sectors of the economy at once, right? I'll urge you, right, when you have time, right, go and Google the Anambra Integrated Development Strategy. Google it, right? Google it. There are pictures on the internet. It's not write-ups, pictures, buildings, records. When Peter Obi became governor, and Bongoli keeps talking about, how, Anambra was a place that scored low on the ease of doing business scale, right? This is something that Peter Obi fixed before he left, right? Imagine trying to sign documents in 5 ministries and having to travel 30 minutes to each ministry, right? And he came and said, no, I'll put them all in the same place. And he put all the secretariats together in the same place, right? We see education, right? People talk about where will you find the funding, right? It's not about funding. In Nigeria, the problem is not funding, right? We hear about how the PDP wasted 16 billion on power, right? I'll let Nigerians know that the PDP wasn't as corrupt as people think they were, right? They were just not good at implementation. If you go to Calabar Port, some of the turbines that were purchased for that power project are rotting in the Calabar Port. Turbines worth billions of naira. Implementation is a big thing. Mr. Peter Obi, if you remember his fight with Father Mbaka, right? Father Mbaka said, give me money. Peter Obi said, no. Show me the project you want to do, and I will give you the money to fund it. I want to know what the money is being spent on. So yes, he has money, but not money to throw away, money to spend on projects. That's why he achieved excellent results in Anambra State. People might not know this, right? But if you go on Peter Obi's Wikipedia page, right, look at all the achievements, Google each one after the other. You'll be amazed. This is not talk, these are not bullet points, these are facts, right? The man performed. After Peter Obi left government, he didn't stop. He kept going to schools, visiting, donating. Peter Obi has huge investments in agriculture in the northern part of Nigeria. Okay? Please Google Peter Obi's investments in rice and you will see, right? I'm just saying this as a rebuttal to the point that people keep saying Peter Obi says, I will. He's not an I will kind of person. He's a person that has proven results. And just to highlight one thing, okay? When Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, he did that in a state where the majority of the house was PDP. He had to battle impeachment. He had to battle extension of tenure court case, and he was still able to perform, right? Think about it, right? Lagos State that we used to compare, right? The governor owned the House of Assembly. The governor made the House of Assembly to give him the fattest pension that any governor had ever earned in the history of Nigeria. if you could twist the House of Assembly to benefit you that much, you can also twist them to benefit your state. Now, if you're a governor in a state where the house is not yours and you are still able to perform, then we need to give you your flowers, right? The reason why we support Peter Obi is because of track record, not because of I will or statistics, like you say. Talking about statistics, right? The very last fact check that they said, oh, Peter Obi said it was 2.3 billion or it was 2.7, right? The same fact check says, hey, if you omit 2022, then it was correct, right? Before you can start tackling the issues of Nigeria, you have to know the numbers. You have to understand Nigeria, right? And this is something that he has taken time to understand. So when we talk about how he plans to fix agriculture, right? He may not be making he may not be making many bogus points, but he has said a few things, right? He mentioned that the River Niger and the River Benue, right, are not being used to up to 10% of their capacity, right? People don't understand, the benefit a river can give to a country, right? He says he will dredge. Dredging the rivers means that you can have more seaports inland, like Onitsha, right? Okay. And you can provide irrigation, right? Just 1 point. Only 1% of farmland in Nigeria is irrigated, right? That's bad. Mama Tuzi mentioned desertification. I live in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi has farms that operate all year round. That is pure desert. Pure desert, okay? So northern Nigeria is not a desert. We can have farming go on there all year round with irrigation. I rest my case for now.
Thank you very much. Well said, Brume. But please, Brume, try to stay within time.
Please. Yes, Daddy, please. Yes, Daddy.
You've tried. Wonderful. I enjoy you, and sometimes I forget. So I don't even check the time because I'm enjoying you speak. However, time is important because I have to make sure everybody else has the same opportunity. Alaji, over to you, sir. Your time has started.
I hope you give me extra time too.
No. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds like I gave Brume 30 seconds. Someone got free drop account. Sorry. I'm going to restart time. Did I just hear drop account? Oh, please, guys, don't be angry.
All right, thank you so much. I think my time has started, right?
Very tough in Nigeria. 100, 131, 7326. Zenith Bank, Ifedayo, 100, 131, 7326. Select all, copy. I'm going to paste it. Okay, so that's my account. For those of you asking, how come nobody has ever... Hey, I don't go click on Mr. Hey, how are you, my darling sister? Debbie, how are you? That's my account for those of you. In the meantime, right now, Star Wars is looking amazing. Sorry, Alaji, I'm coming back to you.
No problem.
Out of 53 stars, Joseph Nantoma is leading with 33,500, while Timo B has 20,000, 33,500, 33,500 for Atiku, 20,000 for Obi. Obi is catching up, giving them a tough time. Remember, Star Wars is going on my Facebook page. Go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE, and that's an opportunity right there to jump on the Star Wars. So I'm taking your time back again now. I'm so sorry, Alaji. I'm so sorry for the interruption.
No problem.
So I'm taking you back your clock again. Sorry, in Nigeria of today, where everything is hard, I will not pass the opportunity of somebody asking for my boy. They never do anything. So, 3, 2, 1, Alaji, your time has started.
All right. Thank you so very much for the opportunity provided. Brume, well said. Quite a lot of points. But I will also say for my own candidate, which is His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, has never been a state governor, right? Unlike Peter Obi or Tinubu that have been governors in Lagos and Anambra. Even though he was elected governor of Adamawa State, but he didn't get into office when he was picked as the vice president to deputize for Obasanjo, right? But based on what he has done and what he has been over the years, his experience on a federal level, right? So, and where we are in this country, personally in Nigeria, is experience would really help. And I believe he comes with that. But today we are speaking on agriculture, which is quite important. And I said, and I believe agriculture is one of the biggest employers of labor. So you cannot underemphasize that. In Nigeria, we have 6 geopolitical zones. And one of the major things he wants to look at is looking at the 6 geopolitical zones, because every geopolitical zone is peculiar. Right? They have what it is that can grow commercially and what fits each of the political zone and what best suits that location. So some of the things that he wants to do is to take a look at properly this geopolitical zones and look at what infrastructure and what are the requirements that should be provided, to properly harness the opportunities that we have in terms of agriculture in this geopolitical zones. Example, when you take a look at Ibadan, cocoa. At one time, were the biggest producers of cocoa. Malaysia came to Nigeria to pick the seedlings for cocoa. Today, they are the largest producers of cocoa. That alone is something. That alone says something. That alone shows a pinch of the potential that we have in agriculture, if we actually really put our emphasis in it and we also invest in it. He plans to actually modernize the sector, right? Like I mentioned earlier, we basically farm on a subsistence level. And there is a need to drastically go commercial and mechanized. So that is part of what he wants to do. And in his campaign, he mentioned that within his first 100 days, he wants to set up an economic stimulus funds of up to about $10 billion within the first 100 days, to help support medium-scale industries across all the economic sectors, which includes agriculture, which is key. Now, when you look at this sectors where you talk about maybe up north where there's drought and things like that, why? It's because tree planting has gone dead. Tree planting needs to come up to reduce desertification in those areas. We need to invest in that. And that way also helps us go green. That way helps improve our rainy season, to help improve our agricultural output. So these are some of the things that he needs to do. And he has also mentioned on the setup of commercial agriculture, when he comes on board, looking at investing or bringing in private sector into this situation. If the commercial agriculture that the PDP started in, I think, 2005, most of the rice mills that we had was established between 1980 and 1981. In Benue, in Sokoto, in Lagos, and I think, were established in 1980-81. Most of those places are dead right now. Most of the machineries there were bought in from Japan. I think the company was Satake or so. All dead. And that is why we are mostly importing rice, because we don't have the processing plants. And these are some of the things. And mind you, some of these infrastructures are actually there. The structures are actually there. They're just dead. And these are some of the things that he's looking at to say, okay, look, we bring in the private sector to revive these industries and add more, so that we'll be able to attain food security, feed ourselves, and be able to export rather than import. These are some of the things that he's looking at. In terms of textiles, why I'm bringing in textile is because is also an agricultural input in terms of cotton. We used to produce cotton in commercial quantities within the axis of Katsina and Zamfara states. Once upon a time, Nigeria had the biggest textile in West Africa. Today it's gone. We have textiles in Kano, we have textiles in Kaduna, we have textiles in Sokoto, all dead. And these are industries with huge value. You know, we're talking about unemployment in Nigeria. People are suffering. People with hundreds of thousands of students are graduating yearly with nothing to do. But we have what we need to revive, and that is why agriculture will come into place. Madam, you talked about funding of the agricultural sector. Yes, it needs to be done. It's not about now creating the funds, but ensuring that it goes to the right people and ensure that it's properly monitored and utilized, and then have a mechanism that will be able to monitor the use. 6 minutes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Mama Tuzi. What is your take? Your time starts now. I'm also going to give you 6.
All right, thank you, Daddy Freeze. I'm not going to litigate any statement made by Brume. We are not here for that. That is, by the way, is the future. We're looking forward to that. So now, I mentioned earlier about the security situation, that's the first thing that needs to be taken care of. Then next comes the infrastructure. As Alaji said, rightly said, infrastructure is a big problem, not just in agriculture. We know for everything in Nigeria, infrastructure is a big problem. Well, thanks to Buhari, at least we've progressed somewhat when it comes to infrastructure. So in the aspect of agriculture, major infrastructural problem they have has to also do with the roads to actually take their produce. There's a difference in investing your life savings to grow something. You harvest it, trying to take it to the market, and then you are stuck in traffic for hours and hours and hours. And this produce gone. No, there's no insurance that will give you money back. So we are losing a lot of our produce to waste. And that is where Asiwaju comes in when it comes to building facilities, partnering, by the way, because everything can be done by government. We already have companies in Nigeria like cold hubs that have cold storage facilities for agricultural produce. Things like that that's part of Asiwaju's plan to bring that to communities and to all these major cities and towns, their marketplaces where they can store their produce. The ones they don't sell, they can store. Then encourage people in logistics, of course, to give them loans and finances so they can have Rufai. My husband actually does logistics. And I know when you have to bring produce from South America, most of the produce we eat in America comes from South America. And then it comes through the border with Rufai, which is refrigerated tractors, like those Dangote trucks, but it's refrigerated. It has to maintain certain degree of temperature. And that comes through it. It saves this produce. It makes sense, not just for you that you're going to be buying it, you, the citizens. It makes sense also for the growers. Besides that, now we have the commodity boards. The role of the commodity board is to protect our farmers, especially the ones growing our essential produce. Talk about cashew, talk about cocoa, soya, cassava, yam, rubber. We are fond of lowballing our farmers. Our farmers are one of the poorest. They are some of the poorest people in Nigeria. The commodity board responsibility, besides other things, will be to guarantee minimum price. Now, you can still not pay more than that minimum price. You can pay high, but you can't go lower than that. That is fair. So it's guaranteed, fair price guaranteed for our farmers. Besides the storage, then they have that. And then there will be also commodity exchange board will revamp it for more efficiency so that our farmers trying to export their produce, they get fair pricing. They are not priced out of the game. Currently, we have Nigerians that are home patriotic that goes to our farms, lowball our farmers, get the produce to Chinese, they take the cassava to China, convert it to Gari, bring it back to Nigeria, and sell it at a high price. There's nothing patriotic about that, because Nigerians are having to pay high price for this because of few people amongst us. Besides that also, let me give you another one, is the irrigation. We know that water is another problem. When it comes to irrigation, we have at least Asiwaju's plan involves six of our river basins will be dredged. And when they talk about recharging lake and all that, I know people were like, oh, you don't charge the lake. Well, that is actually speaking from an ignorant angle. Because yes, you can recharge the lake. I'm sure if a lot of people have Googled since then and they've learned. So a lot of our rivers are needed to be dredged. In fact, not doing that over the time because our governors have embezzled the ecological funds given to them. It also is part of the reason we had this flooding situation we had recently, that 32 of 36 states were underwater. Unfortunately, we might need to start holding our governors more accountable and not put everything on the table of the president. Another plan by the Tinubu administration is working with local and state to partner them to get lands to people that really need it. And then when you talk about financing, not just financing to correct farmers through cooperatives, of course, voluntary cooperative, you don't have to be part of cooperative, but you will have access to it. Already we have Anchor loan that is ongoing. The CBN has already spent over 1 trillion naira on Anchor, which a lot of them have not been able to pay back. Whether through the conflict going on and they can't go to the farm, or like we said, produce gets spoiled, they can't really get this money back and they can't pay back. Fortunately for them, CBN is not like all this microfinance that will come to your community and be calling your name. Mama Chukwudi, Mama Sikira, you give us our money back. They don't have to embarrass you, but you just have to pay it back. Also, another thing that the Tinubu administration is going to do is clearing land. You can give me access to land, but if I don't have the funds to clear it, I need money for tractor. Well, that is where PPP, another form of PPP, is coming in. So everything that will be done under agriculture is not just going to be the government doing it. It's going to be public-private partnership. In Nigeria of today, we have Cargill. Cargill is a multinational company. It's in Nigeria. It's partnering with states in Nigeria for rice and all that. We have the BUA company that just bought land to grow rice. We have the Imota rice mill that just opened in Lagos that will give us 32 metric tons of rice. That is a lot. Yes, we are not where we need to be. In rice, even in rice, Nigeria consumes about 7.6 million metrics of rice annually, and we only grow 5.1. We are short. So we can't even produce enough. So we need to go from small-scale farming to large-scale farming, and that is where Asiwaju comes in. And we're going to give finance. We're going to help with that. Okay, we'll talk more.
I'm up. I did give everybody extra time, but now I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to be cutting everybody now so that we can stay within the time frame. Quick question, or 2 quick questions that each person is going to be given exactly 2 minutes to answer. I'm going to lump them together. Daddy Free's questions regarding what's been happening. A young boy insulted Aisha Buhari, saying she was, I don't want to use the word, and he was arrested by DSS, and only for Sheun Kuti to come and use the exact same words today and threaten them, come and carry him. They say, come and carry me. That Aisha Buhari is really, you know. So in a situation like this, what would you advise? But let's not forget that Star Wars is still on. And big shout out to Prince Akwechi, who's done so well. But I need to just give it up for the Black Tormentor. He is leading right now with 33,000 stars. Prince Akwechi is coming second. Star Wars is going to be brought to an end very soon. Guys, take advantage of this. All you need to do, some people don't know how to participate in Star Wars, so they're wondering, Daddy Freeze, how do I participate? Go to your Facebook, open your Facebook account, like this, another Facebook account of mine. Top right-hand corner, search bar, type Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. My picture in a yellow background with a suit will pop up. Click on it. You will see my verified handle. Scroll down to today's video. You can see today's video is right here. You can see it. Click on it. Right there, you can see how to buy stars. Just right there, click on it. And it will show you all the options of how to get stars right there. So you can even see the star logo. It looks like this. You can see this logo. Once you click on that star logo, let me click on it. Oh no, it will pop up and you see how you can buy stars. Okay, so just go over there right now and get your stars. And when you're buying your stars, remember to mention what team you are supporting. Remember to mention that. That is very, very important. Big shout out to Michael Ekeade for Team Ashiwaju. Team Ashiwaju is finally in the game, but with only 530 stars. So do come in. Okay, I want to remove my account number. The person that asked for the account, I've not seen anything from you, but I want to remove the account. Okay, so we can continue. So once again, 2 questions. First, Aisha Buhari arresting, according to the news, the young man who went against them. What is your take? What would you advise? Secondly, there was a protest at the Caterham House today. It wasn't a big protest, or was it yesterday? It wasn't a really big protest. It was about 30 people. I tried to look at it and check out all the reports. What is your take? And I'm timing 2 minutes, starting with you, Brume. 3, 2.
Sorry, what was the second question again, Betty? Sorry.
Protest in the UK. Does it put us in a good light? Is it counterproductive? You can just answer yes or no, or just make your answers quick. More important, I want you to touch on the Aisha Tinubu, Sheun Kuti, and the young man, I forgot his name, was Yusuf, if I remember clearly.
Aminu Adamu or so.
No, yes. So 3, 2,
Aminu
1.
Adamu, yeah.
I mean you.
2 minutes.
Over to you, bro. 2 minutes.
Okay. So regarding the person, Aminu Adamu, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't feel sorry for him, right? Because if you remember when Deborah was killed, right, and people wore the shirt "Murdered for Peace" with Deborah's picture, and all tweet has been discovered that anybody, by this I'm saying Aminu Adamu, that anybody caught wearing that shirt in Fauci will be dealt with, right? So for me, in his case, this is karma. I'm sorry to say this. People might not agree with my point of view, but this is karma. Regarding Nigerian politicians abusing power, because this is not limited to Aisha Buhari. We have seen Nigerian politicians try to limit freedom of speech by using security forces to intimidate Nigerians. I do not support it, right? Aisha Buhari has done something that most Nigerian politicians do, unfortunately, and I think it's a bigger problem that needs to be addressed by first reforming the police. No civilian should be able to use the police to intimidate another civilian. Right? So that's something that has to be addressed from a policy point of view, because as far as they are powerful Nigerians, and as far as the security force that is loyal to those powerful Nigerians, they will always use them to intimidate fellow Nigerians, including things like, intimidating them during elections, suppressing their votes, and stuff like that, right? Regarding the protest in London, right? Like, I don't think it puts us in a bad light, right? Because protesting is a form of communication. When you speak to people who don't listen to, civil dialogue, then you protest because you feel like you're not being heard, right? So, honestly, I have no bad feelings or ill feelings towards Nigerian protesting in a foreign land, because unfortunately, from what we see, when we protest, we get heard more by the international community than by Nigerians, right? So protesting abroad seems to have more effect than protesting back home in Nigeria. So while I don't support violence, right, or violent protests, You know, I have nothing against Nigerians, you know, protesting abroad.
Okay, awesome. Time up. Thank you very much. Over to you now.
Okay, thank you very much, Daddy Freeze. Thank you, Brume.
Yes, sir.
On the first question on Aminu Adamu, on what happened between himself and the First Lady, I don't support it, even though I also don't support, insults or abuses. Anyhow, it's not, I don't believe in it. But yes, it's also believed that there is freedom of speech, right? I don't support the fact that power was abused, but Aminu's case is just one of so many. His just happens to have come into the limelight. But I think this happens to a lot of people on a daily basis, whereby politicians or people in high authority use the police to actually arrest and intimidate people. It happens. So honestly, I don't support that, and that calls for proper restructuring of our policing, for them to know what their primary assignments are, is to provide security and protect the people, not to harass and intimidate, and to be used as a tool, to intimidate people. So I don't support that, honestly. So, and regarding the protest in the UK, protest is good, protest is okay, but it all depends on how you protest. How you protest matters, right? For me, I didn't like how the protest was, because when you see what's written on the placards, I think also, it doesn't look good for the country, the image of the country. But protest is good. Protest is good. I would only advise or encourage that protest should be done in the best of manners. You can still send your message out without derogatory words. Thank you.
All right, over to you, Mama Tuze. 2 minutes, time limit starting now.
All right, thank you, Dad Freeze. On the issue of Aminu, I know it's, I feel like the punishment, it's more than the crime. Of course, like Brume and Alaji said, this is not the first time in Nigeria that people have been punished. The punishment have exceeded what even the law prescribed for the offense. But also, I want us to remember that Nigeria also have law against slander. And we need to know what Aminu said is a slander. And Aisha Buhari also have the right to protect her own integrity. The only thing is, did she go about it the right way? That is where the question is. It's not the fact that she tried to address it, because you can choose to not say anything. You can choose to address it, but she's supposed to go by the law. Either press charges and not just have him take him to court, because it's a civil matter. It's not necessarily, of course, Nigeria is making it a criminal matter, but it should be more of a civil matter. So on that, I don't support the fact that they just kidnapped him and put him in the cell for some days, for like a week or 2 weeks. That's not okay. That was extreme. In fact, that is extreme. So I hope that never happens again. I hope both sides learn something from it. Simple. Then on the issue of the protest in UK, people have the right to protest. As far as where your right stops, that's where somebody else's right starts. So your protest, you can do your protest, just don't infringe on another person's right. And I don't think that it speaks any negatively on Nigeria. As far as it's not like we are not breaking the law in UK of that land, I mean, it's okay to protest. I mean, I don't see anything against it. It's their right.
All right, absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And I want to say this. Big shout out to Team Tinubu. A certain guy called Michael Ekeade jumped, he initially bought 530 stars. By the way, we're leading with Joseph Nantoma's 33,500 stars. And Team Tinubu's 22,000 stars. thereabout. Then Michael Ekeade, out of nowhere, came and bought a total of 16,330 stars, almost catching up with Team Obi for Team Tinubu. Out of the blues, somebody in Team Tinubu jumped out. Let me remove my account number. Nobody has paid anything. Somebody jumped out and is giving Team Obi a very tough run. Team Joseph Nantoma, aka Team Atiku Abubakar, they are so comfortable where they are. Joseph just maintains a strong lead. But I believe that if Team Obi comes together and Team Tinubu, with what I've just seen from Michael Ekeade, you are amazing. I'm closing this in about 10 minutes. Maybe a few more minutes for extra time, but within 10 minutes, I'm closing the Star Wars. So guys, get ready to put in your best right now. Big shout out to our top 3 star contributors. Joseph Nantoma, aka Black Mentor, for Team Atiku. Michael Ekeade for Team Ashiwaju. And Prince Akwachi for Team Obi. Those are the 3 top star buyers. Congratulations, guys. You guys have done well. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But we've got 10 more minutes. Come over to Facebook right now. I've told you the process is easy. Click on the search bar on the top right-hand corner, DADDYFREEZE. My picture will pop up. Scroll down to today's video. It's right there. Click on it. And you can see the star logo right here. Just right there at the bottom. Just click on it and it will show you what stars you can get and how to get them. So do that right now and make sure you include your team when you are buying the stars so we know who wins Star Wars this week. We're into the most amazing segment in the show, and this is called the Bass Goose segment. Ladies and gentlemen, a 10-minute time limit, the Bass Goose segment. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and are you ready?
Yeah.
Daddy, please, we're ready.
Bass Goose.
I want to ask you a question, Mama Tuzi, right? You know, we keep talking about the things that Bola Tinubu says he will do, right? I've never heard him really say any of these things, right? In fact, he has not been engaging with Nigerians. Can I ask you, like, why does your candidate not engage with Nigerians? Honest question, why?
Okay, let me answer you.
Yes.
If you've been following Bola Tinubu, you will know that he's been talking about this not yesterday, not unlike Peter Obi, of course, because now he's talking about PPP and he's talking about going from consumption to production, except he doesn't have the history of that. It's an importer. Tinubu has been engaging with Nigerians. As a matter of fact, he has been going to different communities. He's met with farmers in the north. Yesterday in London, the video is out there. He actually had town halls with Nigerians in London. Tinubu, if you actually have open mind and you read things, everything is said here are things that there are video of this, that he himself even told Buhari about during colloquium. There's nothing you see in this action plan of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that if you go look at Tinubu's colloquium of 2017, 2018, 2019, that you will not see there, that he has never mentioned. Not everything is said there is mentioned it. Now, when I talk about Peter Obi saying, oh, we will do this, we shall do this, unlike, of course, I know Obi team didn't read Tinubu's manifesto, because you guys always say, who manifesto help? Now just paper. I, Yetunde, read Obi's manifesto, the 62 pages. I read it because I have open mind.
72 pages, actually, 72.
No, because 10 pages there is just pictures and biography of them. I'm talking about the plan that he has. It's 62 pages. And I read it because you know why? I love to learn. I want to know whoever wins, what do you have in plan? What's your plan? What do you have for Nigeria? So that's why I read it. So there's nothing there. Obi wrote this now. In fact, it's so easy. So of course, people have been carrying rumors. So people have been saying in some quarters, which Alhaji will agree with me, that Obi's manifesto is combination of Yar'Adua's 7-point agenda, Atiku's manifesto, and Tinubu's manifesto.
Don't even talk about plagiarism here, right? Don't even talk about plagiarism. Mama Tuzi, let me tell you why I was asking you this question, right?
No, that is cheap.
Let me tell you something, right?
So
if you watch presidential elections all over the world, right? Nigeria is the first country I have seen where a presidential candidate would delegate answers after a public lecture. It was disgraceful, right? I would have preferred for him to read his speech and say, that is the end, no Q.
Okay. Do you have a question in that?
If you watch President Trump's campaign,
do you have a question? Wait, do you have a question in that, or do you have a question in that, or you are just speaking your opinion right now? So I will know how to respond to you appropriately.
The world can see, right?
Listen, because you don't know the difference. You don't know the difference. Wait, let me tell you.
We saw him struggling to read from a teleprompter. We saw him left and right. When they asked him simple questions, he said, your question is inquisitive, right? You can see cognitive decline. How can you say your question
Are you going to let me talk now? Are you going to let me talk now? Are you going to let me talk?
Tinubu was unable to answer simple questions from a room full of APC supporters, right?
When you're done, you let me know. You let me know when you're done.
Right? He has a manifesto.
Which manifesto? The one that you copied.
For you to read, right?
I hope you've seen that somebody who said they should sue him already for plagiarism. He should be arrested. Anyway, let me tell you.
I didn't even know. Buhari's 2015 Your manifesto is plagiarized.
Let me say something.
Bola Tinubu does not know what's in his manifesto. You have a full manifesto, yet you cannot answer questions.
Can we hear what Alhaji is talking about, please? Somebody is trying to say something.
You will be able to answer questions, but he could not.
For the two of you, Brume, please, I would want you to actually shed more light on that manifesto, right? Because honestly, just like Mama Tuzi said, when you critically, closely take a look at it, you see a combination of different actually points or agendas of previous either presidents or other in that manifesto. I'm just saying,
exactly
right.
Can I ask you a question, Alhaji?
Brume.
Let me just ask you. I'll ask you one question, right?
No.
I'll ask you one question, right? If your child is going to read medicine tomorrow,
let us respond to you.
New medical books, or is he going to read books that are written by other authors?
Please allow me just finish, Brume. Just a minute.
Peter Obi has already said it, right? In the words of Peter Obi, right? There is no need to reinvent the wheel. If it has been done before,
there was nothing
in
that manifesto. Listen, there was nothing in that manifesto. Alhaji, please let me make this point. Let me quickly make this point. I will give you.
Can I just finish and then we just.
Okay, please, sir. Please finish.
Brume, that was just the question for you, and to you, Mama Tuzi, right?
Honestly, yes. So let me quickly respond to this point, right?
Let him finish. I can't hear what he's asking me.
Just drop, and then you guys just respond, because if not, it's just going to be it's not going to be organized.
Yeah.
Right, Mama Tuzi, right? Looking at the interview in the UK, right? And let's be honest to ourselves as Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe the way that interview went at Chatham House, you would give it a pass mark?
So do you want me to answer you?
Hold on. These are questions. These are questions meant for him. These are questions meant for him because he is the one contesting. So Nigerians would have loved to hear him answer those questions, each and every one of them.
Okay. Because, are you done?
So honestly,
are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Are you done, sir?
Like you guys
Brume, while I talk, because I would that question. Okay, that question. Okay, Brume, go first. Brume, go first. Okay.
Look, right? Very simple, right? A day before Tinubu went to London, right?
That's not what he asked you. He's asking you. He asked you about Peter Obi's manifesto.
Okay, so let me answer you about Peter Obi's manifesto, right? Peter Obi, in his own words, has said repeatedly that there is no point reinventing the wheel. There is nothing Peter Obi will do in Nigeria tomorrow that somebody hasn't done from somewhere. So yes, if Peter Obi goes to copy someone else's manifesto and says he will do it, I trust that he will do it, okay? When you were all writing your university projects, did you write anything new? Did you not have references? Why did you have references? Why didn't you bring it all from your head? Because there is nothing new under the sun. So if you claim that you see similarities between Peter Obi's manifesto and what others have written, I have no problems with that, right? This election is about trust. It's not about what's written in a glossy piece of paper. We've seen manifestos, we've seen graphs, we've seen figures, we've heard promises. The issue here is trust, right? Who has said, I will do? And has done it. So let's not start talking about manifesto, right? Trust. Peter Obi has written a manifesto, has released it. Anything that you see there, whether it was copied from Yaradua or Buhari or Atiku or Tinubu, Peter Obi will do what he says. So you
are admitting to plagiarism, right? That's what it is. You are admitting to plagiarism.
Your manifesto actually.
That is something that will get you kicked out of college. You are admitting to it.
Right?
No. You are admitting to it.
There is nothing new under the sun, right?
Let me answer you and Alaji. I take your explanation. Let me answer you and Alaji because you asked the same question as. Wait now, Rumen. Now, are you going to let me talk now?
I have to correct an impression, right? And I can see your Congolese in the comment section causing mayhem there, right? I did not.
Let me talk.
I'm telling you that when you're writing a document, right, there are no words that are new under the sun. So it's okay to you have references. You can look left.
And one thing is this, Brume, I alluded to that actually at the beginning of this debate tonight, that these three candidates, there's nothing unnatural about them having similar manifesto.
There's a difference.
Wait, let me finish.
Manifesto, he has been saying them with his mouth for months. He has been talking about it. Tinubu has not spoken about his manifesto since it was released, including yesterday in London. You could not answer questions.
When was the last time you sat for a whole minute to listen to what Tinubu has to say with open mind, sincerely speaking?
Yesterday.
Listen to me. No, you did not.
I'm telling you. I watched the entire interview.
No, if you want, and first of anyway, let me start from this. Number one, the Chatham House was not an interview. There's a difference between an interview. Interview is what he did with BBC Africa today, which you can go watch. For those that want to know source of this world. Wait, I'm talking to the people that might not have seen it. What happened there yesterday was an engagement. Remember, they organized it themselves to showcase their candidate. And before the questions, he said, this is a team ship. One thing you guys are fixating on, if anybody actually think for a second that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Africa, cannot answer any of those questions himself, even better than the people that answered it, then you are a joker. This man, wait, let me finish. This man knows.
You know what Chatham House
wait, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you guys when you're talking. This man, don't interrupt me. You spoke for like 5 minutes. I didn't say anything. This man knows his onions. He knew what he was doing. He told you. What you are not saying is, this man is telling you, I even have a team that is ready from day one. You don't have to wait for 6 months to get somebody to do something. They know what they're doing. Each and every one of those people that spoke there yesterday never said anything that is not in the action plan. And Asiwaju himself, the speech that he made before the question, he alluded to his action plan. So it's disingenuous for anybody to come here and try to spin things, because we are used to all the just spinning and not actually watching things ourselves. You do yourself a favor. If you can actually go and watch it yourself, I'm talking to the people that are actually paying attention to what I'm saying. And if you're not paying attention, no problem.
I
But
would
an
like them to
intelligent
watch it.
person, wait, Alaji, wait.
I want them to
How
watch it,
could you,
really.
no, you said you watched it, right? How
I
could
want
you
them to
watch
watch
it?
it.
Wait, how could you watch it and claim there was a teleprompter when there was a video that spanned the whole room and there was no screen anywhere? That is pure lie.
Mama
That is
Tuesday.
outright lying. No,
Mama
listen.
Tuesday. There were
I
two
am getting really
teleprompters, Mama
passionate
Tuesday.
about this because one thing is
Mama
this.
Tuesday, there were two
Wait, no.
teleprompters. Please
Listen,
don't deny
you
this.
can't wait.
Don't embarrass
Even
yourself
if
here.
there was teleprompter,
teleprompters, one on the left and one on the right.
Even if there was, wait, listen.
Okay.
If you watch it, there was, in fact, unlike Mr. Atiku Abubakar in 2019, it was at Chatham House. He lost this train of thought because somebody's phone rang. Nobody said he lost his capacity. We can discuss things that make sense, that would transform Nigeria. But for anybody to question Asiwaju's capacity to do anything, that person, like I said, and the role of a leader, really, let me finish this point because it's very important to say this. Let me quickly say this because you guys don't understand one thing about leadership. A successful leader or a CEO, they are those people that can identify people with talents. They can build them into a team through respect and loyalty to that person. They can inspire those people to give their best to achieve the goal. That's what those people did. Listen to me. That is what those people have done.
Does Elon Musk call the CFO to give speeches?
Did I not just tell you that it wasn't an interview? That it was an engagement? It was an engagement?
Does anybody speak on behalf of Joe Biden? What are you talking about, Mama Tuesday?
Because Joe Biden was not going for an engagement. Joe Biden was going for an interview. There's a difference. You might want to look up the meaning. Google is free. You don't have to pay for it. That's what I have to say.
I know your town hall was different from Balabu, Blue, Bulaba.
Yeah, nothing Blabu. We like it like that. It's different from the person that is quoting the worst statistics. Anyway, now talk classic carry come up for philosophy. I know even that one will be anything.
Hey, Tutu, Mama Tuesday, please don't do that. Stop embarrassing yourself here, right?
Why am I embarrassing myself?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Embarrassing myself.
Did not have a third class. Don't embarrass yourself.
Let him have. So now you think I'm embarrassing myself, but you are outrightly lying about something. Is not embarrassing yourself.
What did I lie about? Tell me what I lied about.
When you don't watch something and you come on here to claim that you did something, did you join the webinar? When did you register for it? I'm trying to understand.
What's webinar?
Please,
What's webinar?
Ruben, please. For the rest of us and the world that actually joined the actual webinar to participate remotely,
and I even watched it again today.
If
I show you my YouTube, you will see.
Just go and sleep, I beg.
Tinubu does not have the capacity to answer questions.
Stop carrying misinformation. As you learn from Aminu's situation, slandering is a crime. It's under criminal code in Nigeria. Criminal code 373 is a crime in Nigeria to slander people before you start carrying this thing.
Engagement. He cannot answer live questions.
Leave him like that. Leave him. He cannot. He cannot.
He needs to go to a retirement home.
He cannot. Leave him.
Retirement home. Obudu Ranch is free now. He can go there and chill.
Let him be wearing pampers himself. Time up. That is free.
All right.
We have to put all these lies.
Imagine who wants to go to UN to come and
lying
Nigeria. Your question is inquisitive. Kai.
Not inquisitive. She asked a very inquisitive question. Is it not? Do you even know the meaning of being inquisitive? Do you know the meaning of that? Why does that sound strange? It's the same thing that
Mama Tuesday.
Let me remove two of them.
Drink water small.
I've removed the two of them. I will add them back when they calm down.
When they cool down.
When they cool down, I will bring them back.
That was hot.
Out in time was hot. There's no one here.
Mama Tuesday was on fire.
Okay. Okay. Now, amazing things are happening on Star Wars. A certain gentleman called Michael came in and so far has bought, oh my goodness, this is impossible. he has bought, Team Ashiwaju is leading Star Wars, 48,000 stars. Black Mentor in the mud is no longer a top. As in, I've not seen this level of tormenting the tormentor. Can you people tag Black Mentor? Since I don't the waka, I never see this kind thing. 48,000 stars. Black Mentor is number 2 with 33,000 stars. How do you do this? Team Ashiwaju came from nowhere. Bye-bye, my face light up, oh boy. Sleep clear from my eye. Tiredness disappear. Hey, what is going on? Something again has happened. Somebody has responded. Is it Team Obi? Team Obi responded. Jeez, with 16,300 stars. Team Obi has responded. No. More people they vex. So right now, Team Ashiwaju is leading with 48,000 stars. Team Obi is second with 36. No, Team Obi is on 30,000. Team Atiku is on 33,000. So the Black Mentor is dangling at number 2. That number 2 self no sure. So he get the way Team Obi go come in now. They will knock Team Atiku out of, and Team Atiku has been holding. You see, that's why I tell you, they buy these stars early. You go come rush last minute, come buy everything. We know I don't go come calculate them well. Hey, bele, make I carry something for head.
Black Mentor will come back.
Black Mentor. Anyway, we have 5 more minutes. Can Black Mentor? Priya is so happy, said he has gone to bed because Team Obi actually has a chance now. I'm not sure about they have a chance. So 48, they are on 30. If they can get 18, they'll rival Team Tinubu. But right now, to win Black Mentor is very easy. Black Mentor, you see, my problem with Black Mentor is he's too confident. Overconfidence, they kill cats. Overconfidence, they kill cats. Somebody say, on our mandate we stand. How do Ashiwaju people sing that? Now, Bongolis, have you sing that song? All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm bringing them back. I'm sure Mama Tuzi and Brume are good now and calm. So we have an extension for exactly what they're here for. Where's Brume?
Mama Tuzi.
Now, so I go sit down like this, just the look now.
Anyway,
Mama Tuzi, you don't drink water. You don't drink water.
I don't drink.
You guys have exactly 5 more minutes. And in this 5-minute time limit, I'm going to cut you off after exactly 5 minutes. You will round off this injury time for the Bass Bulls. And after this 5-minute time limit, I'll be announcing the winner of Star Wars. Right now, Team Tinubu is leading by a wide margin. But the way Team Obi is coming up, they can catch up because Chibuzo, Nwokoya, and Prince Akwechiobi together have done more than the Black Mentor. Yes. So sorry. Let me give you guys the full stats now. I need calculator. Make una no vex. So if you remove Michael for Team Ashiwaju, Michael, as in, I've never seen this kind of madness. Just came and overthrew people. Then if you remove Black Mentor is 33,500. Team OB has overtaken the Black Mentor and is now gunning for the #1 spot. Make una tag Black Mentor. In fact, I go flash himself. Simply like say you don't know what's in the happen. Black Joseph Nantoma. And they call him. You know if you sleep, you can't sleep this one out.
That is you're calling him.
I'm calling him because you guys are about as in how do you go from #1 to #3? I need to know go pick call now.
But I can see him right here. He's doing this live. He's here.
You can see him.
I can see him, yeah.
All right. If you can see him, it don't happen. I know Black Mentor does not give up. You know they lose auction. You know they lose auction. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big shout out to Michael of Team Ashiwaju, leading with 48,330 stars. Amazing job. Team OB, 36,000 stars. Amazing job. Brume, you started it and your team has done so well. Amazing job. #2, 36,100 stars. And #3, leading the entire session, only knocked out in the last 10 minutes. The Black Mentor himself is now a Black Mentor. He's no longer a tormentor. He's just a mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Nantoma for Team Atiku Abubakar with 33,500 stars. Boss Cash Money say, what's this money used for? It's used to buy your father a new toilet. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the final 5 minutes that's going to determine not just Star Wars, but the debate entirely is about to start. And that's the injury time for Clash of the Supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 3, 2, 1, and exactly 5 minutes, the debate will stop and the winner will be announced. For those of you who are trying to get into the Star Wars game, especially for Obi now, who has a chance, and for Atiku, because Tinubu is leading by a margin, go to Facebook. From Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze. I have 750,000 followers. You know that's my account is verified. Scroll to today's video and see how you can get stars. 5-minute time limit, injury time for Baz Bulls. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
3, 2, 1, and action.
So,
look, Nigerians right now, right? This election is about battling for the soul of Nigeria. If you can recall the anger that you felt on the 20th of October 2020, when Nigerian soldiers shot at Nigerians at the toll gate, recall that anger. Think about the people that you would never have voted for if they had come to campaign to you at that time. Think about it. Somebody is contesting now. His son switched off the advert boards at the toll gate with the excuse that there was a curfew. What does a curfew have to do with advertisement board? Think about this very critically, okay? Think about all the times that you have been stopped at police checkpoints and denigrated. Think about all the things that has happened to you as a Nigerian. If you left Nigeria, think about why you left Nigeria, the hardship, the difficulty. Think about the players. I will tell you, 2 of them have been part and parcel of all the governments and all the problems that you have gone through that made you either leave Nigeria or that you are suffering in Nigeria today. Atiku Abubakar was a civil servant. He was a customs officer, rose to the top. Somehow, magically, a civil servant is able to start a business as big as Intel's. How does that happen? He becomes part of the very first democratically elected government in Nigeria. They are there for many years, spent a lot of money, made some progress, but wasted a lot of money, and helped to entrench corruption in Nigeria. They helped it, they enabled it, so they can't wash their hands free of it. We have somebody who is contesting from Lagos now. If you go and check your history, right, there was once a presidential candidate in Nigeria whose son was accused of trafficking marijuana, not heroin, marijuana. He pulled out from the race. Today, we have somebody who forfeited $466,000 to the US government. Forfeited. It's there in the document. Proceeds of heroin trafficking. And is standing before you to contest. This person can't even engage with you. He's not seen anywhere. He can't debate with his mates, a live debate. It has to be curated. It has to be managed. He has to be helped, has to be pushed, right? He was referred, he keeps being referred to as the person who built Lagos as the Jagaban of Africa, but cannot answer very simple questions legibly without making mistakes. People, this is a battle for the soul of Nigeria. If you make a mistake today, I promise you, Nigeria doesn't have much of a chance to recover. I'm just telling you this. It's not about Peter Obi against Atiku against this battle for the soul of Nigeria. Think about this very carefully. Don't make a mistake.
Can Alaji talk now because we only have 5 minutes, so we can talk.
Alaji can talk.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Brume, for that analysis. Yes, I agree with you. 2023 is fighting for the soul of Nigeria, and I agree with you, no doubt, because this is one time that we need to get it right. And if we need to get it right, we need to get the right person to do that job. And we need someone with experience, and we need somebody that has the knowledge at the federal level and has done it before and can do it again. What I mean is that, look, we're in 2022 now. What's the rate of the dollar as it is today?
Man, I don't know.
I would want to wake up from that slumber and see us go back to 1999 through to 2007 when the dollar was 110 between 118 naira. I would love to see that day again. And I believe most Nigerians will be in a better position or in a better situation than they are today. More Nigerians have dipped into poverty based on the circumstances of what is going on. Yes, he was a customs officer, yes. Turned businessman, turned politician. It means, he succeeded as a civil servant. Obviously, it means he's also good in business for him to be successful in business. So it's all experience. Everything comes into play. Everything comes into play to ensure that we get to where we are. When we're talking about getting Nigeria producing, when we are talking about managing resources, when we are talking about growing the economy, we don't say we want to produce while we are the ones importing. You know who I'm talking about when we're talking about importing. So we're talking about Nigeria producing again, but it is one of the highest importers of finished goods.
Yep.
So what are we talking about?
Okay.
Right? So there are a lot of things to look at. So when we're talking about fighting for the soul of Nigeria, when we're talking about making Nigeria better, we have to take a look at these things. When we go back to Lagos, most of the achievements of the APC presidential candidate is linked to Lagos. He's also a founding member of the APC, who supports most of the things that is going on or is backing most of what is going on in this present government. And he's saying he wants to continue from where this government stopped. Please, we don't want to continue from where this one is going. It's not possible. Meaning that
now?
if we are going to continue from where we are, or he's going to add to what is happening now, then I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I talk? Because now I can't talk.
I'll add a quick correction. Peter Obi is not an importer, he's a distributor, right?
So that is free. You don't have to give me the time to give my
closing
closing
Nigeria, right?
people.
Industries are failing. So we have to fix Nigeria first. Peter Obi will manufacture, but let's fix Nigeria first.
Let's be factual. He imports, right? He imports.
He distributes.
All right. Well, at the distribution, at the importation.
It's a distributor.
All I want.
By the way, how does Atiwaju make his money, sir? We know what Peter Obi does. We know what Atiku does. What does Atiwaju even do?
You know, when you and Alaji were talking, I just muted myself so I would not be tempted to interrupt you. So when this time that Daddy Freeze is giving me to talk, you're going to mute yourself and not interrupt me.
No, what's going to happen? This segment has ended. We've overshot the time. So what we're going to do is, in your closing remarks, each of you is going to get 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is going to be. So we know that is, you're all going to have your opportunity. So thank you from Omokri and Asiwaju on the star right now. Coming in at number 3. I'm slow with my work because I'm heartbroken that Black Mentor could be put to number 3. But I think I'm still. I said 5 minutes. I think I should announce. Should I announce now or should I allow them? Should I allow Star Wars now? Or should I allow everybody to do their 2 minutes so everybody rounds off?
Yeah, after we round up, then you can now announce and close.
Brume, Star Wars now, or do I wait for you guys to finish?
No, wait for us to finish so that you can, enjoy and give Black Mentor a chance to wake up and vice versa.
Black Mentor the chance to wake up.
When you can call him while we're talking.
People are saying announce Star Wars now. Mama Tuzi, announce now, or do I wait?
It really doesn't matter. You can, if you want to announce it now, that's fine. If you want to wait, it really doesn't matter. But right. I think fairly it will. I mean, we technically haven't finished, so you should wait.
All right. So everybody has said wait. So you guys have 2 minutes each, and I'm going to make sure this 2 minutes is 2 minutes. Within those 2 minutes, Black Mentor, you can catch up. Within those 2 minutes, if you guys have done so, you can currently at number 2, you can get number 1. Black Mentor, you can jump from number 3 to number 1. Big shout out to Team Tinubu. You are currently holding down the number 1. We've got 6 more minutes, and I'm going to rush through this exactly the way it's supposed to be. Brume, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and your 2 minutes for your sign off starts now.
Okay. First of all, there is no law that says that somebody who distributes or imports products cannot be an agent of change. Okay? If you look at what the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria says, over 100 industries have left Nigeria and relocated to Ghana, right? There are deep-seated problems in Nigeria that prevent business-minded people from establishing in Nigeria. So we have to fix Nigeria first and then attract manufacturing to come and produce within Nigeria. So it's not a Peter Obi problem, it's a Nigeria problem. By the way, he's not a president yet. He's just a regular citizen that has seen the problems that exist in Nigeria and is passionate about fixing them. When you say he imports, yes, he has to, because it's not viable to produce in Nigeria. You saw a few days ago when Cubana Chief Priest said something, that diesel has eaten away all of his profits, right? So the problems of Nigeria are not a Peter Obi problem. Peter Obi is coming to fix the problems of Nigeria so that he can start manufacturing in Nigeria. Just to remind you people of the 3 candidates that we are supposed to be voting into power come 2023, right? There is one that has so many controversies surrounding him. We don't know his primary school, secondary school, date of birth. We've seen 4 instances. Certificates are questionable. His level of cognition right now is questionable. We don't know what happened in Chicago, why he forfeited money to the U.S. government. Employment is questionable. Deloitte has said they never employed somebody like that. Just so many controversies surrounding him. So many controversies, right? Atiku Abubakar, honestly speaking, I really have nothing against Atiku, right? He was elected governor, then became vice president, worked under Obasanjo, right? I cannot say he's corrupt because I have no idea what his source of wealth is, right? But the thing I want to focused on right now is my candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, right? I support him solely because of antecedents, okay? He doesn't have the same tendency or propensity of state capture that Asiwaju has, right? He left the government and he has not collected one kobo from the government since then. That says a lot about him as a candidate. Get your PVC, vote the Labour Party. Thank you very much.
Over to you, Alaji. Your time starts
Okay, thank
now.
you. All right, thank you very much. Good evening once again, and here representing the PDP presidential flag bearer, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And let me start by the word using the Boy Scouts code of honor saying, be prepared. Now, there is nothing, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I would want to bring this point out that my candidate was one of the first, in fact, was the first presidential candidate to actually really sit down and come out and say, these are my 5-point agenda. This is what I want to do in Nigeria, and this is how I would want to improve Nigeria from what it is today. He's somebody that is carefully, selecting what he needs to do and listening to people, working with people, like minds, to ensure that people that know their onions are part of his team that will ensure that they drive this economy as it should. So looking at his 5-point agenda, he has touched the 5 major aspects that we need to get working in Nigeria. He has shown that, one, look, we need to grow our private sector if we need to develop. Every developed country in the world is driven by the private sector. Government should be more of regulatory supervision policies to ensure things work. And that is one of the things he wants to drive. He has identified key sectors in terms of agriculture, in terms of the automobile industry, in terms of the textile, where these sectors are key and are strategic to economic development, and he wants to ensure. So look, 2023 is around the corner. Look, vote experience, somebody that is vast and somebody that knows his onions and knows what needs to be done. And that is what we need. Vote Atiku Abubakar 2023. Thank you.
All right, welcome. And finally, Mama Tuzi, I'm going to give you 2 minutes and 30 seconds because I promised you 30 seconds earlier on, but we'll cut you off at 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So,
you might not need too much.
You ready?
Thank you, Dad. Yes, I am.
Your time starts now.
One thing that we all need to recognize is that Nigeria is a serious business. The Nigerian presidency and the presidential election, they are serious affairs. They literally, our life, our well-being, the life of our nation actually is tied to this. No one, no matter how highly placed you are in the society, has the right to reduce those things to emotional or any ethno-religious affairs or some jokes. All I can say, because for me, I am a Nigerian and I'm passionate about Nigeria. And because of my passion for Nigeria, I want Nigeria to succeed. I will just implore you all, everybody listening, be informed. Look for the facts. Be objective. Forget making your decision based on sentiments or some propaganda that you've read. It is your own democratic duty. Research things. As a Nigerian, I have my own right based on available facts and having objectively studied the track records of these 3 candidates and others. I've made my decision. And my choice is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The only thing I can say is, as much as I love Asiwaju and I want him, and I know, inshallah, it will come in 2023, I will still say, may the best man for the job win. I know that best man is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because it's not just going to bring relief to the poor. It's going to bring relief to the young people in our nation. It's going to bring relief to men, to women, old and young. We need more efficiency. The reason a lot of our system is not working is not because the systems are not in place. It's because we don't have efficiency in the system. We need someone that has proven in the past to do it, to bring efficiency, to turn a chaotic mega city into a functioning city. From 600 mega million naira per month to over 5 billion a month. It did it. It cleaned that system. And we are still seeing the transformation today. That is what we need. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Daddy Freeze.
God bless you. God bless all of you. And now time for the announcement. Coming in at number 3, dropping very fast and very hard from number 1 within the last 20 to 30 minutes. By the extra time, ladies and gentlemen, Team Atiku Abubakar at number 3, led by Joseph Nantoma. They the last 2 weeks, and finally today they get knocked not just out of the number 1 spot, but to the number 3 spot with 33,500 stars. Congratulations, you've done so well, but you're number 3. Coming in at number 2, ladies and gentlemen, a big shout out to everyone that made it happen for Obi, Coco Boy Music, Alexander, Anthony Mays, especially these 2 guys, Prince Akwechi, who did 14,500 stars, and Chib Nwokoye, who did 15,300. Together, Team put together 36,000 stars, coming in at number 2, especially with the great work once again of Chibuzo Nwokoye and Prince Akwachi. Thank you so much. This week, with 54,700 stars. Black Mentor is here. Finally, I see person.
It's late now.
That's it.
It's over. It's over. Black Mentor. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 54,730 stars, bought by our new tormentor. Ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman called Michael.
Michael, thank you so much.
Michael, Team Tinubu says thank you. Daddy Freeze says thank you. Michael, 54,730 stars. I flashed you, mentor. I know you know if you them. But he said he slept up on his chair. I called you. Oh, so anyway, thank you all so much. Somebody said Archangel Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Tinubu, good work. Good work.
Thank you
so much. Everyone, good work. You see, even the Star Wars is now a fight. It's no longer one person dominating. You know, everybody. No, it started with Team Obi dominating. Black Mentor came, took over. Team Obi took it back. Black Mentor shot it to a high level and maintained that high level. Then last minute, Team Ashiwaju came with a banger, and Team Obi 2 came and overtook. So it shows that there's a lot of interaction, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you for supporting me, and God bless. Look forward to having another educative, informative, and entertaining, I beg your pardon, debate, same time next week. Do have yourselves happy holidays. Drive carefully, stay out of trouble, and have fun with your families. Thank you so
Thank you, Daddy
much.
Freeze. Thank you
Thank
for
you, Daddy
having us.
Freeze.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Thank you, Alaji. Bye, Broma. You still in
Thank you,
media.
Alhaji.
Alaji. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Tinubu, I'm waiting for your graphics for this week to show that
We'll
you.
send it.
Thank you all.
They will send you some Bulava graphics.
Whatever. Don't be jealous, bro. But just take the loss like that.
Bulava.
No one say, like, oh, I don't know about that one, no. But Star Wars. Take care, God, and big shout out.
All right, sir. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Mama Tuti. Bye, Alhaji.
Bye. Bye, bye.